Welcome to today's session. Now, in today's session, we are going to do SWOT analysis. That is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Okay. And this is in addition to the earlier exercise that we did in the last session, that is the Johari window. Okay. So, in Johari window, what happens is that you identify your strengths, your weaknesses. Okay. What's good and what's not good in you. Okay, what you know, what you don't know, what others know about you, and what others don't know about you. Okay, so depending on all the realizations that you have had in the Johari window exercise, let's now make our SWOT analysis. And this is the ultimate, because this will tell us a lot of things, and on the basis of the SWOT analysis we'll go and make an action plan. Okay, so this will be the base of our action plan. So let's start. So SWOT analysis basically can be done by any person for different kinds of things. Like you can do it for your personal things as well. What are your personal strengths and personal weaknesses? You can play this for your, your personal relationships. And as well, you can do it for your career analysis. So we'll be using it today for our career analysis. Hence, I've called it as career SWOT analysis. Okay, so let's begin. So there are four quadrants in this as well: the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. Yeah. Now, if you analyze closely, your strengths and weaknesses are the internal things. Okay, and these things you will find through your Johari window exercise. What you feel about yourself and what others feel about yourself, about you. Okay, so these are internal things: my strengths, my weaknesses. But opportunities and threats come from outside. I don't have an opportunity inside me, right? There has to be somebody to buy my product or buy me, for that example. So then I'll have some value to it. Okay, so opportunities and threats are the external factors. Okay, so let's see some of the things that you will have to do now. So today's assignment, which I'll give you at the last, is filling this quadrant. Okay, so let's start. Now, what can be your strengths and what exactly is your strength? What is the definition of strengths? And then we'll find out what can be your strengths. Okay, so you'll identify all these four elements and fill this quadrant today. Okay, then in the next sessions we'll talk about the strategies for realizing your goals. So once you have identified your strengths and weaknesses, then we'll go in the action mode and do a lot of things. So what is strength? It is an internal positive aspect that is under your control. Okay, so internal things, your strengths and your weaknesses, both are under your control. Okay, because they're internal factors. So internal factors are in my control. Okay, now you may say that anger is not in my control. It's not done. You are becoming angry, so obviously you have it in your control. Now you are not controlling it is another thing, but it is in your control. You can do it. Okay, so it's under control, and upon which you may capitalize. So these are the points which you can capitalize. Okay, these are your strengths. Strengths are things on which we can capitalize, right? Like I am a big hitter. So if I am in the last 5 overs of the cricket game, I can just capitalize because I'm a big hitter. I have to hit runs. Yeah. So likewise, you also, like players have their own strengths. So you also have some strength which you have to capitalize on. So what is a strength? Anything which you have and which you know, which you have realized that you can capitalize on. Like for me, what I can capitalize on is my speaking ability. Okay, that's my strength. The ability to teach, the ability to give a lecture, and the ability of argumentation, the ability of application of knowledge, the ability to interpret things. That's my strength. So I can do it anytime I'm required to do it. So that's my strength. So find out your strengths. Okay, So strength is something which you can capitalize on. Simple. Now let's see some of the examples. One thing is your work experience. So if you have got experience in a certain kind of industry, now this is a very broad term, work experience. Now it can be broken down into bits and pieces. Okay. So in work experience, you can talk about the industry in which you have worked. Like for example, as a chartered accountant, if you have got experience of working in KPMG or the top 4 firms, then that is an advantage, because wherever you go with that CV, you get a job easily, right? So that's an advantage for you. So your work experience can be your industry, can be the firm in which you have worked. Sorry. Can be the firm in which you are working, can be the company in which you are working, can be the area of specialization in which you are working. Okay, it can be an audit zone, or it can be taxation, or it can be international taxation, it can be something, some area in which you are working. So work X is a broader term. Now you cut it down into pieces and see what exactly is your experience which gives you that strength in today's market. Okay, so what is being in demand and whether you have that kind of experience or not. That's important. Match it. Second is education and any value-added features. Value-added features means apart from the basic education, like you may be an engineer, you may be a chartered accountant, you may be a cost accountant, you may be a scientist, you may be some kind of professional. So that's one thing, the formal education. Plus add-ons. These days, add-ons are very important. You have to continuously update and upgrade yourself, yeah, to be relevant in the present industry. So what add-ons you are having? Like currently I'm doing a course yes, I'm also doing a course from Kellogg's University of US. That's an online course in product management, because I'm into startup and I build a lot of products. So I thought that why not should I have a detailed understanding of the nuances of product development. So I'm doing a course, and every one of us. So the world has changed. In earlier times, you used to have your education and then you were in job. Okay, so there were distinct times. This was education and this was your job, and then once you enter your career, then you just work and you retire one good day. But that's not the case today. Today it is intermixed. You earn while you learn. So even when doing your courses, you can go out there and earn money. You can do jobs, you can do freelancing and so many things. Number two, while you are working, you have to be continuously updated. Okay, so you have to continuously keep learning. So all the courses that you do along with your work, they add on and they become very important part of your CV. Okay, so think about that. What all things you have learned and how they are relevant for the next job that you are hunting. Okay, so education can be your strength, and therefore when I take this career classes for college students, I tell them, or even for 9th and 10th school kids, these schools call me sometime for that. So I advise one thing, that okay, whatever you do, and of course international certifications also matter. Yes, absolutely, international certifications matter. So what happens is that when I talk to these kids, I tell them one thing: forget everything, just enter some good college. Okay, of course, all the other aspects are there, whether you should choose commerce or science and all those things. Yes, we discuss that, and then we discuss the personality traits and all of those things. But then I also tell them one thing: choose a good college. No matter how much hard work you have to do for your IIT and JEE and all that, NEET and extra preparations, go for it, do it. Or as I'm a chartered accountant, so CA Institute by itself is an all India level institute, and it has got very high reputation. So when you choose a college or institute, it becomes very important for you to choose one which has very high reputation. Because if you do, say for example, engineering from a local college and if you do engineering from IIT, what difference will it have? A huge amount of difference. Not just in salary package. Of course, salary package in the initial stage as a newcomer in the industry will not be much. Like for example, if a local guy with a local engineering can get a pay of say 50,000 a month starting, with IIT he can expect around 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs. So it's the difference is double, but in terms of monetary value it is around 50,000 rupees, right? But that degree from IIT has got a huge potential moving ahead. After 10 years, this difference will not be double. This difference will be quadruple or maybe more than that, 10 times. So the growth which you will get in your career will be huge if your degree, your education is from a reputed institution. So that's very important. So that's a plus point. That's your strength. Okay. Then strong technical knowledge. Now, if you suppose, now a lot of questions will come, of course, in your mind that if my basic education is not from a reputed institution, then what? Will you carry that backlog for years throughout your life? No, absolutely not. That's why I told you the advantage of upskilling. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this course from Kellogg's, which is one of the top 10 MBA colleges in US and the world for that matter, is that reason. The reason of, the brand of Kellogg joining my name. Yeah. So that's important. So you can always upgrade. Do an MBA course. Do something extra from very reputed institution. You can do short courses from ISB, Indian School of Business. They have short duration courses. 3 months course, 6 months course, 1 year course. Do something like that so that you do not have that disadvantage throughout your life. Okay, so convert your disadvantage into an advantage. That's what we are going to discuss today. So our strengths will not always be our strengths. They can become weakness as well. Keep that in mind. Weakness can be made into strength. So that's what we are discussing today, right? Good. So education is important. Then strong technical knowledge within your field. Like for example, the hardware, software, programming languages, or SAP, Oracle. Okay. So all kinds of softwares that we use, all kind of technologies. If you have that kind of knowledge, management knowledge, that's very good. That can become your strength. Then specific transferable skills, that is the skills that you can, impart to your team. So that includes communication, teamwork, leadership skills. So if you have done these kinds of roles and you have got this knowledge, these skills, add it to your strengths. Then personal characteristics, which we have been discussing since long, your personality traits. Okay. Your strong ethics, self-discipline, ability to work under pressure, resilience, grit, determination, creativity, optimism, high level of energy, and so on and so forth. So this adds to your strength, and we have been building it in the past sessions. Then good contacts and successful networking. This is again a very, very important strength, which we'll talk about in the later sessions. There will be a specific session we are going to take on building network and how to build a network, because ultimately it's people who are going to pay you, right? So your success depends on other people, either your customers, your clients, your suppliers, your investors, your boss, okay, your employers, the HR who is going to conduct your interviews. So everywhere there is going to be people. So you are going to, interact with people. So your network, what kind of people are in your network who can support you, who can give you the advice, who can mentor you, okay, and who will become your customers. That's very important. So if you don't have a good network, if it's a weakness today, don't worry, we'll make it into a strength in time to come. And interaction with professional organizations. Are you part of professional organizations? Like we have a CA Institute. Similarly, there is FICCI. there is a women's organization, and there are so many other organizations, big professional organizations out there. Go and be a part of these organizations. That adds value to your CV, okay, and to your business. So that's again very important thing. So these can be different kinds of strengths, and these are just examples that I'm giving you, okay, career related strengths. You can add on many other strengths. So identify your strengths and keep writing in that box, okay. The second is the weaknesses. And don't worry about weakness. Weaknesses are not permanent. Nothing, even strengths are not permanent. So if you are overconfident about your strengths, then those strengths also become weakness. Okay. So never be overconfident. Keep working, keep improving. Okay. So let's see the weaknesses that you may be having today. As I'll take questions at the last. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about weakness first. So internal negative aspects that are under your control. The weaknesses are also under your control. Therefore, you can convert them into strength one day. So, okay, write down your question. Keep it noted. Okay, so I'll take it at the last. That you may plan to improve. So, we are not writing weaknesses for the purpose of crying. Okay, we are writing weaknesses in order to improve them, convert them into our strengths one day. Lack of work experience. So if you think, now how do you find whether you lack or not? This depends on what you want in life. So if you have identified your goals and then you are analyzing your skill today or your work experience, and if you think that my work experience which I have currently is not going to get me here, okay, so that becomes my weakness. If it's a weakness, fine, you write it there that I lack experience in this particular area. Like for example, today, if I want to enter into artificial intelligence, do I have experience of working in artificial intelligence? No. So that's my weakness. How do I convert it into strength? It will not get converted overnight, but I'll have to, start doing something. Okay, let's take the first step, a baby step, and then next step. And slowly, so I'll have a long-term planning, say 3 years plan of becoming an expert in artificial intelligence. And why not? I can. So I'll do those, I'll take those baby steps and plan it in such a way that in 6 months, in 1 year, in 1.5 years, in 2 years, I'll achieve those milestones, and in 3 years, I'll be at the top of that area. Okay. Then low GPA or wrong major. This is in your education. You have got a low score, or you took a wrong subject as your major. So that's a hindrance. No problem. A lot of extra classes are there. A lot of extra curriculum, certifications programs are there. You do it. Okay. Go for it. Then lack of goals, lack of self-knowledge, lack of specific job knowledge. So this is why you are here in this career masterclass, and this is what we are solving. So we are solving all these problems for you. So we started with goal setting, smart goal setting, if you remember. Yeah. And we have done this Johari window, and even today, what we are doing is acquiring self-knowledge. We are analyzing ourselves, identifying our strengths, weaknesses. Okay. So we are gaining knowledge of ourselves. Then lack of specific job knowledge. So this also will do. I took a brief in the last session. Yeah. How to identify the industry out there. And we'll be focusing more in the later sessions. Then weak technical knowledge. Weak skills, leadership, interpersonal communication skills. If you don't have them, don't worry. Build them. Simple solution is there. We don't have to sit and cry. Okay. We have to just keep building our skills, improvising, improving continuously. Then weak job hunting skills. This is again a very important, and I'll take one session on this, specifically on job hunting, how to find jobs. Okay, interesting area. Then negative personal characteristics. If your personal traits are negative, and this has come out mainly out of the Johari window exercise. If your friends, if your family, if your colleagues say that you are lacking some of these skills, the good positive skills that we should have, like empathy and all, and I suppose lack it, then I need to build on it. Okay, everything is learnable. So you have to learn it, you have to build it. Shyness, too emotional, and all the fears that we had talked about, lack of discipline, lack of motivation. Don't worry, everything is curable. You can improve on it. Then coming to the third quadrant, which is opportunities. So opportunities is now outside the world. Okay, I cannot change Corona. It is happening. It's happening. I cannot do anything about it. But now the question is how I can use it. So this is the wave theory that we were saying. It's a wave. I do not make a wave. Wave is an automatic thing. The wind makes the wave in the sea. I have to ride it. Okay, so riding is in my control. It defines my strengths and weakness. The wave is not in my hand. Okay, but we can take advantage of it. So opportunities means waves out there, and we can take opportunity, we can take advantage of these waves. So if I can identify that yes, this is a wave, my skill matches this wave, and I can take advantage of it, then that becomes an opportunity for me. Okay, so what is an opportunity? It is a matching of your skills and traits with the opportunity out there, with that wave. Okay, so that gives you an opportunity. So some examples can be positive trends in your field that will create more jobs. Okay, like growth, globalization, technology advances. So in CA field right now, if I can say, because I'm from CA field, so there are a lot of things happening, like international markets are opening up. So you have got a lot of opportunities out there. You don't have to, go to the foreign country and study CPA or any other thing. You can sit here in India and take advantage. Outsourcing is a big industry out there. Law outsourcing is happening. Accounting outsourcing is happening. So you tap those markets. Markets are developing. New waves are getting created in the market. Ripples are there. You find them and take advantage of it. Then new technologies are coming in. New type of accounting softwares are being launched every day. So see that what is the trend going on. Are people moving from Tally to some other kind of accounting software? If yes, am I there? Am I using it? Okay. Keep checking. Then opportunities you could have in the field by enhancing your education. If I can take that extra degree, if I can take the extra certification, then I will have more opportunities. So do it. Go for it. Field is particularly in need of your set of skills. Okay, this is called as open area, the arena. It is out there, and I have those skills, and people need it. What I have to do? Just enter the market at the right time. Now this happens very rarely in the real industry. Okay, but it happens. It happens. Like I'll tell you an example. Why I became so famous as a teacher in the very initial years of my career, like in the first year itself, because in my city where I started my teaching career, and I picked up the subjects of taxation and law. Okay, now there was a vacuum in my city for teachers in these subjects. There was an absolute vacuum. Had I taken accountancy or costing or financial management as my subjects, I would have faced a lot of struggle, because there were a lot of teachers and good teachers out there. Okay, so I got that advantage because my subjects were such that there was a big vacuum. There was nobody to teach these subjects, no one good to teach these subjects, and therefore I got instant recognition and instant success. So it happens. Yeah. Then opportunities you could have through greater self-knowledge and more specific job goals. So this is what we are gaining: self-knowledge. We are discovering ourselves. Opportunities for advancement in your field. What are the growth opportunities? You find out the growth opportunities. Even in your offices, you find out the growth opportunities. What is the next thing that the company is launching? Are you capable of doing it? Can you take it up? These are the questions you should answer. Then opportunities for professional development, career path, provides unique opportunities. Your career path that you have chosen can give you unique opportunities. So what are these unique opportunities? Okay, find them out. If you have chosen costing as your career, if you have chosen teaching as your career, if you have chosen something, what kind of opportunities are there in the market for those things? You have to keep your eyes open. Then geography, where you are situated, your location makes a very important difference. Like for tech guys, they must be located in all the top 3-4 cities in India today in order to get good opportunities. Of course, COVID has turned that circle, but still, if you're not in Bangalore, you will not get good opportunities in technology, they say. And strong network, of course. So networking is always an opportunity. No matter how much you have built it in the past, there is opportunity to build it further. Then going on to threats. Threats are those things which are again out of your control, and you don't have an opportunity out there. But what we need to do is that, okay, I cannot master it, but at least I can lessen the burden, okay, to some extent. So there are two strategies which you have to play in threats. Number one is to avoid it. Number two, to manage it. Avoidance and management. If you can avoid it, please do it. Like for example, medicine. It's a weakness, not weakness, but threat. I cannot go into it, no matter how much I want to. So I'll avoid it. I'll not go into medicine. I've got a lot of doctors. I can just go and consult them. I don't have to become a doctor myself, right? But yes, health is something I can work on. I cannot cure myself. I cannot give medicine to myself, but I can take certain things which will improve my health, and I'll not fall sick again and again, right? So at least I can do that. So that's called as management. So either you avoid it if possible, or at least you manage it. Manage your threats. Keep them under control. Okay. So that's important for us. And a lot of examples I've given here as well, like negative trends in your field that diminish jobs. Like accountancy, basically physical accountancy is dying. Okay, it's a dying industry. It will end soon. Technology will overtake. And even in future, the role of accountants will diminish. Okay, people will not need accountant because everything will be online. You enter into transactions and the bank itself will give you a complete account statement, or there will be softwares which will be attached with your bank and all the other payment gateways, and they will build an account for you within a second. You don't have to go to an accountant. Okay, so these are dying areas, so you keep an eye on that. Okay, and before it dies, you improvise and get into some other lines. Then competition from your cohort of college graduates. This is for the college, for the initial campus interviews and all. You have to face a lot of competition, and not just there, but even in the future, even in your office environment, you have competition with your colleagues as far as the your placements are concerned, right? And your position is concerned. So there will always be competition. Competitors with superior skills and experience and knowledge. So you never know that who will come in the organization and who might have more skills than you. Okay, and they'll get all the promotions and you will get stuck at one level. So these are threats, but if you can improve them, very good. So first you convert your threats into at least weakness, and then from weakness you act upon it to convert it into your strengths. Then competitors who went to schools with better reputation. Obstacles in your way. There can be a lot of obstacles. Okay, lack of advanced education, training, etc. Probably money is one of the biggest factors. You don't have enough money to go into a good college. But there are always ways. Okay, so even if you don't have good money, at least go for scholarships, give exams. Okay, so there are a lot of scholarship exams. Give them, attempt those scholarship exams, and then you can get into those colleges. So there's always a way out. Then limited advancement in your field or cutthroat competition in business. we can say. Limited professional development, and companies are not hiring people with your degree. Okay, so what you have to do is get a new degree. As I said in the initial, at the start of the session, education never ends today. Okay, so keep yourself relevant at all points of time. Keep upgrading, keep updating your knowledge and your skills. So that is the assignment. So download this PDF, which I'll upload in some time. After that, tomorrow you'll sit, analyze your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Okay, and fill these quadrants and be ready. Now you guys are doing a lot of lethargy over the past week, but don't do it, huh? Do the Johari window, do this exercise, because the next steps that we are going to take are very crucial. They are action steps, and you'll not be able to take them unless you have this homework done. Okay, unless you know your weaknesses, how you're going to improve it. Unless you know your threats, how you're going to convert them into weakness, and from weakness to your strengths. And if you don't do that, then forget success. So keep doing your homework, right? And we'll continue in the next session.